This is today's homework for day 2. Okay, let's graph this. Create a table of values. They say to use, this is a table of values here. You see that word table of values? You're just making a table. They say to use the domain of -1, 0, 1. So got 3 words. 1, 2, 3, right? The first one is -1 and then 0 and then 1. And then you're going to get your ordered pairs. First is -1, 0, 1, and then you need your second point, that is your output y. And then your input is your x, but the problem is right here, you're going to write it 3 times. X squared minus 1, x squared minus 1, x squared minus 1. The first one you're going to put is this -1 from there into x. So you get -1 squared. If you use a calculator, remember to put parentheses. -1 squared is 1, minus 1 is your answer, is 0. Okay, so -1, 0 is your answer there. This one here, you input 0 here, where the x is. 0 squared is 0, minus 1, additive inverse is -1. So that's -1, 0, -1. Okay, here you input 1 where x is. So 1 squared is 1, 1 times 1 is 1, minus 1 is 0. So 1, 0. And now all you need to do is graph your ordered pair, or you call coordinates. These are also called coordinates. -1, 0 is right there. 0, -1 is right there. And 1, 0 is right there. Create a parabola. It's a U-shape, not V, U-shape parabola. Okay, here is the problem here. It is -1 times, okay? And use the domain of -1, 0, 1. The domain is the input. The range is your output, okay? Domain and range. All right, so you get you're going to use -1, one of them. The other one is 0, and the last one is 1. These are good numbers to use anytime. If you need to choose your own numbers, like the back page, my suggestion to use is the same thing. -1, the 3 numbers, you need to use 1, -0, and 1. I would use that for every one of these. -1, 0, and 1. Those are the 3 easiest number unless you have a fraction. That I will explain later. Okay. First number is -1 times x squared plus 1. So -1 times x squared plus 1. So -1 times x squared plus 1. And, okay, so the first one you put -1, oops, put -1 under where x is. So put -1 there. -1 squared is -1 times -1, which is 1, times the -1 is -1, plus 1 is a 0. So your ordered pair here is -1, 0. Okay. Next one, you put 0 where x is. We call that substitute. Substitute 0 where x is. Substitute in there. 0 squared is 0 times -1 is 0 plus 1 is 1. So your ordered pair is 0, 1. Okay, next one, you put in 1 where x is. So you put 1 squared is 1 times -1 plus 1. You get -1 plus 1, which is 0. So your ordered pair is 1, 0. Okay, then graph it. -1, 0 right there, 0, 1, and 1, 0 right there. Parabola. It's called parabola, upside down U shape. Okay? Here, the same thing. Three works. Okay? So 1, 2, and 3. Your first one is -1, 0, 1. And your problem is this. Domain is x and range is y. Your ordered pair. Okay, x comma y. And you got this problem of x minus 1. Okay, you put this -1 in here. So -1, so -1 plus a -1 is a -2. So your ordered pair is -1, -2. Okay, and then the next one you put 0, 0 in there. Additive inverse, 0 plus -1 is -1. So your ordered pair is 0, -1. Okay, next one is you put 1 into there. But 1 minus 1 is 0, so this is 1, 0. Should be linear because there's no exponents. -1, -2 right there. 0, -1, and right there. That's your line there. Okay? Right here, I'm going to do -1 again. 0 and 1, -1, 0, and 1. You need to show work, no answers only, okay? So 4x, and how you do that is your input is your x, your output is your answer y. So 4x minus 2, 4x minus 2, 4x minus 2. You put in, you substitute in -1 into there. So -1 times -4 is -4 minus 2, additive inverse, so that's a -6. So -1, -6 is your ordered pair. Substitute 0 into there. 0, 4 times 0 is 0, minus 2, additive inverse is -2. 0, -2. Next one, put in